Hey YouTube, it's Brad from Medford Motorsports. I wanted to do another vehicle review. This is another daily driver. This is actually my wife's vehicle, and we've had this for about 2 years or so now. Absolutely love this thing. This is the Land Rover Defender. This is the X-Dynamic P400. It's a mouthful there. They make a lot of different versions of this. I particularly like this one. This is the Carpathian Grey, which actually is kind of a like gray with a factory stealth PPF on that. So you can see if you look real closely actually where the kind of where that is here, where you can see that they added on, but it's got some nice accents with the gloss black on the gray. Love the way that they did the hood on here. Everything on it's blacked out. The hood's black. It has almost kind of a like a steel plating there. Just looks cool, looks tough. Kind of has a boxy Jeepish G-Wagon feel to it and look to it, but obviously much nicer than the Jeep. Anyway, some cool features on this that I wanted to point out. I absolutely am obsessed with the braking system on this. There is no reason and no need for them to put these gigantic 6-piston floating calipers on here, but they did, and I think it's awesome. I think they look great. Another thing that I was absolutely shocked one time when I got underneath of here, if you look really close, you can see that vent coming out. That is actually flows through from in the front here, goes all the way through and directs the air to blow on the brake rotors. That's some crazy high performance stuff that this never needs for brake cooling, but I just thought it's awesome that they, I love it when things are over engineered like that. Just like how it has a real vent in here that goes into an intercooler and another intercooler on this side. Just love the, the engineering that went into this thing. The side steps, they are aftermarket. I'm not crazy about the look of those, but my wife is 4'11", so they help her get into the vehicle. We did put, I think, 20% tint on it, so it looks a little different that way, but just the back of it is absolutely beautiful. I love the way that it sits. Ignore the fact that the rear tires are a little bald right now. They need to be replaced. They probably could have done a little bit more aggressive rims, but overall, I love the look of this vehicle. Stepping into the inside, the door panels are pretty plain. You can see that it does have the Meridian surround sound. I love Meridian. That's what was in my Rivian, and it's just a great stereo system that's in it. This is a real life review. Ignore the fact that there's a bunch of personal stuff in here and that it is dirty. But let's go ahead and jump in and kind of go over some of the cool stuff in this. Got a nice big display screen here. This is aftermarket. That's just a phone mount there. It does have a regular key. It's in here somewhere. My wife left it in. Just started the vehicle up. It has Apple CarPlay on this. That's what you actually end up using. But other than that, the regular system actually is very responsive and does work, but realistically everybody's just going to use CarPlay in this vehicle. Has a digital rear view mirror. I absolutely love that. That's wonderful. And what blows me away with this car is the amount of storage that's in here. This for the passenger, just with a USB-C for charging up here, just all that space to put things. It's wonderful. Little cubbies here. This actually goes all the way behind there. You can put things. Extra little spot over here to put stuff. It's just, there's an enormous amount of storage in here. This is aftermarket. That's in there. Otherwise it would just drop all the way through down to there where there's more storage. Big old center console. Huge sunroof that spans all the way across, and unlike my Escalade IQ, it actually does have a working cover for that, so you can close it and not get blinded by the light or make it hot as can be at all times. Love that. Let's see, lots of speakers. We got the little microphones to pick up your speaking there. Home link on the mirror, obviously. Great digital display here that can be customized to whatever you want that to be. Let's see, let's walk around this a little bit more in the back here. We've got good amount of space. We've got a baby seat in the back, but I'm 6'3", and I can sit in here. This works for me. I can touch my knees, but that, you know, that's pretty reasonable for that's sitting behind me in my most comfortable position too. We have actually the AC control back here, so that's nice. These cool little windows, no reason for them or anything. They're just super cool. I like those. There's a couple little trim pieces around the vehicle. They're done in this little brown, I guess like walnut wood. Love that. Going around to the back, I guess it's an off-road style thing to put the wheel on the back. I don't like it. I think it's just silly. I don't really see the need for it to be there. They could probably have worked it into somewhere else, or have just not given a wheel like lots of people do nowadays, because that makes it so that you have to have a swing open door. I love this truck, but I do not like a swing open door. It's just a pain in the ass way to do things. If it went up, it would be better. That also gives you like shielding from the rain. If you've ever had to change a baby in the back of a car, it's a whole lot better. Anyway, just not a big fan of the swinging door, but either way, it's cool. They comes with a tow hitch on here. I think the tow rating is something like 5,000. Don't quote me on that. Actually, maybe I'll put it in the comments. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but it tows well. I have towed with this vehicle. I towed my side by side on a trailer, which is only like 3,000 pounds. That's it over there, but it does it nicely. Dual exhausts. They're nothing special on this one. They do make this vehicle with a 5-liter V8 supercharged. That thing is badass. It has quad pipes on the back that look even better. But this is like I said, the P400. I'm going to go into a little bit more info on that motor. Actually, I forgot something. This does have air suspension. I love air suspension. This in the back is to lower the back down or raise it back up, so I guess you can load things in. I think it's silly, but like I said, I'm 6'3". I don't, maybe if I was shorter, it might make a difference to lower it down 2 inches. I just don't think that really makes that much of a difference. The seats are manual to fold those down. I don't mind that. I think it's just an easier way to do it. We have actually AC controls back here. That's pretty sweet. Anyway, moving on. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in this, and let's take it for a ride. All right, so we are in the Land Rover Defender X-Dynamic P400, and I'm going to take it for a ride and kind of talk about how it drives. I do have a quick question for you guys on YouTube. This is my second car review, and what I want to know is this a better view here where you're looking at me talking, or would you prefer something like mounted up here so you can see the gauges, see out the windshield? Just let me know, because I don't know what's better. So for now, we're just gonna look at me so you can see me talk. So I'm gonna start driving, and we'll start talking about how this thing rides. As I put it into reverse, I noticed that the passenger side mirror tipped down. Love that feature. We have a nice big rear view reverse camera here with the above view. I'll go ahead and grab you guys so I can show you that. That's nice. They could have utilized the entire screen for that. I don't know why they didn't. That would have been a little bit better in my opinion. But it's plenty big, works well. All of the sensors all work great. They tell you whenever anything is near. You have the blind spot monitors on both of the mirrors there. That works great. So one thing that I always, as I'm putting it in drive, I noticed this has the automatic start and stop. Everyone hates that. Manufacturers, stop putting that in cars. I get it, it's an EPA thing, so that you can squeak out 1/10 of 1 mile per gallon, but we all just turn it off. It's just stupid. Let's get rid of it. There's no need for it anymore, or at least let it remember the last setting so that it stays off. That thing drives everyone crazy. This has it. I actually did go as far as disconnecting the start-stop battery, which is underneath the passenger seat, to try and disable the system. It had a adverse effect. It did something. I'm pretty sure what it was is that it disabled the heated seats. So that was, you know, a deal breaker. So we went ahead and plugged that back in, and now we just hit that button every single time. So getting on here, just pulling out. It drives nice. I'm used to EVs, but this this does have a good amount of torque, and it doesn't rev through the. It drives nice, is what I'm getting at here. The reason why is this is the P400, which is a 6-cylinder, 3-liter motor in here, but it is actually supercharged and turbocharged. That's really weird, but what it has an electric supercharger and then a normal twin scroll turbocharger on it. So it has a 48-volt mild hybrid system, which as you slow down, it has a starter generator in the transmission that generates power as you know, before you start braking or while you're slowing down, basically whenever you're not on the gas. Generates some power. Then what it does with that power, it actually uses that 48-volt system to power the supercharger, which will basically get rid of any turbo lag and kind of help give you instant power down low. The other thing is that starter generator itself can actually help drive the vehicle. It's pretty weak. It's only about like 15 kilowatts or so of power there. So maybe like 20-30 horsepower. A lot more torque than horsepower, but it will actually kind of help the vehicle get away from a dead stop as well. So those two things together really make the truck drive nice, makes it feel like it has more power than it does. By no means is it fast. This is a pretty heavy vehicle. It's geared for off-roading and for towing, so it's not going to be fast, but it'll hold its own. It's faster than your average vehicle for sure. It's 400 horsepower. It does have some off-road prowess on this. Actually, it has couple different modes here. You actually can raise it up. It has hill descent control, but you can raise the suspension and lower the suspension because it has the air suspension, like I was talking about earlier. So those are some of the cool things on here. It does have a couple of little gauges and stuff that'll give you some additional information. It's strange to even use it, but it does actually have a sport mode. If you flip the little gear selector over to the left, it now goes into sport mode. Looks like sport mode. I'm trying to figure it out here if it actually will shift or if that has to be paddle shifted. Actually, sorry, not paddle shifted, but just kind of slapping the stick. It does look like it does automatically change through those. We're pulling up to a stoplight. I'm the first one here, so I'm going to try. So when that does go green, we're going to see how fast it'll go. I don't have my draggy or any recording equipment in here, but maybe we'll just get a good sound and be able to see, see how it does. It's actually, I've done this in a lot of other cars. This is actually just about a quarter mile in front of me before the hill starts. Probably not going to run it all the way to that because in this thing it would probably take, I don't know, like 15 seconds. But here we go. 60, 70, 80. All right, and that's as fast as I'm gonna go here on our closed track in Mexico. So, what do you think? Anyway, I really like this truck. It has been great. It has been great to us. Have about 50,000 miles on it. Gets 20 miles to the gallon, and we. Land Rover has always been known for not being the most reliable vehicles. We've had no issues. I have just, like I said, it's been a great, reliable vehicle. Forgot to mention, does have a pretty cool heads-up display here. It just has all of the things that you would expect a luxury vehicle to have. AC seats, heated seats. It's just a great truck, and the size of it is perfect. It's not overly cumbersome wide like my Escalade that's difficult to park, but because of the boxy shape of it, you really have a good amount of shoulder room, and I love how high it sits. It sits up just as high as my Escalade does, It actually, when I have my Rivian parked next to it, it sits taller than my Rivian. Gives you a commanding driving position and just feels good when you put in this SUV that's perfectly reasonable to maneuver around the city and for my wife to be driving. At the same time, you pull up next to a full-size pickup truck and you aren't being you're looking eye to eye with them. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. If there's anything that I missed, put it in the comments. I'm trying to get better at this reviewing thing, so if there's anything you would change on this review or any feedback for me, I'd appreciate it. Thanks a lot.